In 2018, a bunch of super hardworking people came together with extreme passion, lots of faith, and they wanted to make a film about a hero, Major Sandipuni Krishnan. Major Sandipuni Krishnan made the supreme sacrifice on the 26/11 Mumbai attacks and in Bombay, and it's not the way he died, but the way he lived that has inspired Mr. Adivisesh, which has driven him to write the script and act in the film. So, welcome Adivisesh to the major roundtable. Uh, he had a dream, all of us had a dream, but dreams need wings. And I think when Sesh and I went and spoke to Namrata Garu from GMB Entertainment, they gave us the wings. They've been a huge pillar of support and strength for us throughout the journey of making this film and even now. And I would really, really like to thank you, Mahesh sir, for doing everything that you've done for the film, both on screen and off the screen. And of course, Sony Pictures, who have helped us to take this film to the next level. Welcome, Mahesh sir, to the round table. We also have a silent bomb who is also very aggressive when it comes to the action sequences, but he has a strong hold on emotions as well. He can make you cry, he can make you get goosebumps. So Shashi, the director of the film, is here. Welcome to this round table. We also have a couple of amazing performers in the film. Of course, Major has a great ensemble of amazing actors, but specifically two of them, Sai and Shobita here. One of the most important things in the 26/11 Mumbai attacks was the hostages. They've displayed great bravery, courage, fear, pain, and it was a very important dimension to the film. And all this was absorbed, distilled, and played by Shobita, our very own pan-Indian Telugu actor who's
Thank
going
you.
places. Shobita, welcome
Thank
to this. And of course, we have the wonderful Sai Manjrekar. We're a little sick today, but thanks for making it. So, Major Sandeep had a wonderful life. He had a crush from the school, and that he eventually got married to. It's a role that has multiple dimensions, sparring 10-15 years, and wonderfully played by Sai. Very mature, yet very bubbly when it needed to be. So I welcome all of you to this major roundtable. It'll be a very freewheeling chat between all of us, and we'll just talk and chat about the film and what we can get.
I came for a freewheeling chat, but then you gave such a formal introduction that I'm like, oh, bloody
The
hell.
introduction is formal. That's the only thing I have.
This is the Academy Awards. We need to like.
So, sir, Mahesh sir, how's life, sir?
Doing great.
So, I mean, first of all, congratulations on your blockbuster Sarkar Bhai Pata. I
Thank you.
think we're all extremely happy. I think our excitement of Major just doubled with the success of our film.
It's a little bit of a homecoming pride. I genuinely, I'm saying this not because the camera's on, but I felt it even when I messaged you. I think it's one of my favorite performances of yours. Probably my favorite since Poki. So I genuinely felt that. So congratulations, sir. And
Thank you.
I'm glad it went really well.
And I think all of us here on the table, sir, you're of course a superstar, and probably all of our experience put together is as good as yours. But can you all like share your journey in a minute on how you're here? Like I think you've all like reached a certain
You want
point.
me to start?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
So that the ugly voice is over with?
No, the youngest one. The youngest
It's
one.
easy to
started.
edit.
Okay, okay. In life or in the movie, how I
Your
got
journey
here?
till Major.
Oh, I remember the first time I ever heard Major, I was with mom. And I'm not an easy crier. Like, I don't cry a lot, is what I say normally. And my mom cries really fast. Both of us were crying the same amount too. And Sesh came and like narrated the movie. And I think that's when I knew that I wanted to do this. And the character had like so much to do. And after Dabang, I not like explored myself as an actor that much. And I felt like that gave me the opportunity to do that. And that's how I got here.
Wonderful.
Eloquent.
Eloquent, yeah.
Okay, actually, she made me feel good. So.
Shashi, how about
Yeah.
your journey? Very
For
good.
me, Major was never. I knew Sesh always wanted to tell the story, but I never. For 10 years, I've known him, for 12 years in fact, and he's been dreaming of making this film. And even during Gudachari, he was wanting to make this happen. And a little later, after the release of the film, he said, Shashi, the project is mounted and it's about to take off. Oh, good for you. Good car, నువ్వు డైరెక్ట్ చేయాలి అంటే నేను చేయటం మనం అనుకున్నాం కదా, తర్వాత కొంచెం బ్రేక్ తీసుకుందాం ఒకరి నుంచి ఒకరికి అనుకున్నాం కదా అన్న లేదు
బేసిక్గా దుబ్బే అన్నాడు బ్రో.
నెక్స్ట్ పాయింట్, సార్ మీతో పని చేశాక ఎందుకు ఇమీడియట్లీ మళ్ళీ పని చేయొద్దు అనుకుంటారు? ఇస్ ఇట్ బికాస్ యూర్ హార్డ్ వర్కింగ్ ఆర్ ఐ మీన్ హౌ డు యూ టేక్ ఇట్?
I remember we were at the Gudachari audio launch and one of the producers said, "We're calling Sesh torture star." Being very honest, I think it has a little bit to do with insecurity. I saw a couple of failures early on in life and it was very important to me. I don't come from a film background and if I fall, I always got the sense that there's nobody really to pick me up. So you have this sense that you're on your own. So all you've got is your hands and your mind and your heart. So you do your best. You
and talent obviously.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So Shobita, same question. A journey from Vizag to
Oh, that's a
Venice.
TED talk. That's not a round.
Hollywood.
It's been great.
Talk in Telugu na please.
Telugulo.
Actually, నేను పుట్టింది యాక్సెంట్ లేదు నా తెలుగుకి. నేను పుట్టింది తెనాలిలో, దట్స్ మై మమ్ సైడ్, అండ్ నేను పెరిగింది వైజాగ్ లో, స్కూలింగ్ అంతా అక్కడే. దాని తర్వాత ఐ మూవ్ టు ముంబై ఫర్ మై కాలేజ్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అండ్ దాని తర్వాత ఐ ఎన్రోల్డ్ ఇన్ మాస్టర్స్ ఇన్ లా అండ్ ఏంటో ఐ జస్ట్ ఫెల్ట్ లైక్ నేను మిస్ ఇండియాలో టేక్ పార్ట్ చేశాను అండ్ ఐ వన్ దట్ ఇయర్ అండ్ నాకు ఒక క్యూరియాసిటీ ఉండేది దట్ ఓకే ఐ వాంట్ టు ఎక్స్ప్లోర్, ఐ డోంట్ నో దిస్ మచ్ బట్ సంథింగ్ అబౌట్ ద ఎంటర్టైన్మెంట్ ఇండస్ట్రీ నాకు ఒక క్యూరియాసిటీ ఉండేది. ఆల్దో ఐ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ అ ప్లాన్ యాజ్ సచ్. ఐ ట్రైడ్ మై హ్యాండ్ అట్ మోడలింగ్, అది నాకు చాలా తృప్తి అనిపించలేదు అండ్ ఐ డిస్కవర్డ్ యాక్టింగ్ త్రూ ఆడిషన్స్ అండ్ ఐ ఫెల్ ఇన్ లవ్ విత్ ఇట్ అండ్ మై ఫస్ట్ ఫిల్మ్ నాకు రమణ్ రాఘవ్ అని అనురాగ్ కశ్యప్ తో నాకు వచ్చిన ఫస్ట్ ఫిల్మ్ అండ్ అది నాకు చాలా మంచి ఇట్ ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్డ్ మీ టు సార్ట్ ఆఫ్ పిక్ అప్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ దట్ మూవ్ మీ దట్ మీన్స్ సంథింగ్ టు మీ. ఆ జర్నీలో అండ్ ఇన్ఫాక్ట్ నా ఫస్ట్ మూవీ అయిన సంవత్సరానికి ఐ హ్యాపెన్ టు స్పీక్ టు శేష్ అండ్ గూఢచారి సార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఫెల్ ఇన్ టు ప్లేస్ అండ్ ఆ మూవీ చేస్తున్న టైంలో ఐ సా శేష్ obsess over Sandeep Unnikrishnan. He was just a person that he was just tripping on and there was no context and I was like, oh, good for you. Kani dan tarvata I think to see the project come together and to find the opportunity to be a part of it. Ante oka Telugu amma ayi undi oka Telugulo movie cheyadamlo there is immense pleasure and there is my parents enjoy it far more, so I feel good about it and obviously it's a story of the human spirit, not so much about, and he's actually somebody from Kerala. He's been through a bunch of places through the country, so I don't think he's really rooted to one place as much as his feet are on the ground. It's like one foot in the clouds and one foot on the ground. He lived his life like that and it's a privilege to play someone like Pramoda, so that's been my journey. I treasure it.
Sir, మీరు మేజర్ సినిమా చూసారు, వాట్ వాజ్ యువర్ రియాక్షన్ అనాలా అంటే చాలా హౌ డు యూ ఫీల్ అంటే చాలా రొటీన్ గా ఉంటుంది కానీ
like I said, first I have to thank you and Anurag. ఎందుకంటే when you all came up to Namta and said Sesh has this idea of Major and so I admired their work before. I loved Gudachari. It was with just immense respect and I didn't think even రెండో ఆలోచన కూడా లేదు, నువ్వు చెప్పంగానే ఓకే చేసేద్దాం because I think it's probably the first time that I'm associated with a film where I'm not acting.
Correct.
So I don't know why I felt good about it so instantly. And after that, when I knew it was a film on Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan, I felt really happy because I knew they were going to do justice for the film. But then I never really sat with them for discussions. I didn't know what was happening. You know it. I mean, you were sitting and talking to Namta, I think, more than anything else. So he met me when the trailer and the promo was ready, I think. It was somewhere before the second lockdown, if I'm not.
అవును సార్. యాక్చువల్గా మనం ఫస్ట్
This was in March.
Yeah,
if I'm-
yeah.
Yeah.
డిస్కషన్ అయింది సార్.
So that's when he showed me the trailer of the film. I think the teaser. it was. Yeah. That's when I knew that we were making something really nice, and I was really happy. And then we all went into a lockdown again, and so then I was immersed with my own film. I really didn't know what was happening with you all. So everything was getting delayed for all of us. And then, so when I saw the film for the first time, so I knew you guys were making it. But then at the same time, I was a little nervous because it's a very responsible film, what we were making. So it's a biopic. It's a very important film, what we were making. At the same time, we need to entertain the people. So that was my only, I was a little, because this is the first time I'm watching the film. So. And then I saw the film. And I mean, I was amazed, first of all, in the kind of budgets you all had to make a film like that. It blew my mind. The responsibility was there. Making a biopic is not easy. And really, hats off to these guys, the girls.
I think one of the biggest pressure mark.
I mean, అమ్మాయిల గురించి మాట్లాడుతుంటే ఇంటర్ఫియర్ అవుతుంది. వాళ్ళ గురించి మాట్లాడాలి. So I thought they were really amazing. They were in character, and everything was looking perfect in the film. And especially the last half an hour of the film. I mean, I have to again speak about that film because that's when something clicks in your mind that yes, they got it right. And that's when I came out, sat. I walked out, by the way, without saying anything to this guy. I know what was happening in his head. Because after the film got over, I just walked out silently. And these guys came after 5 minutes, I think. So I sat quietly and I said, then I shook his hand. I said, you all made a good film. And then I think that's when he felt really good. So yeah, so making a film like that is not easy. So, making a biopic, you have to be true to it and you have to entertain your audience. So I think that's where they pulled it off. I mean, I sincerely wish Revati Garu and Prakash Raj also sitting here. Because I think once when Sesh was sitting there showing me the promo, he just told me that this is the story of the mother and the father. This is not my story. This is their story. This is Revati Garu and Prakash Raj's story. So when I saw the film, it felt like that. When your heart goes out for that. And I thought they were absolutely brilliant in the film. They were just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I think
Actually,
It's their story, actually.
yeah.
It's like the screen time might not be much, but actually it's their story. And if the audience connect to that, I mean, that hits your heart.
Correct.
And even when he launched the trailer, like when he said that when they were performing, he had tears in his eyes. He was absolutely right because there were moments when I was watching it, the throat just gets dry when you see it. Because I think that's the core point of the story.
A part of the reason that happened, I think, is also because we heard of all of Major Sandeep's life initially from Uncle and Auntie. I call her Amma now. And it just naturally, organically lent itself to this idea that the way they told us the story, we wanted them to tell the world. And that's how it just ended up becoming that same idea. And so many lines in the film are literally Telugu translations or Hindi translations of what Uncle told me in English. ఒక మూమెంట్లో ఆయనకు అంత దేశభక్త అని నేను మేజర్ సందీప్ గురించి అడిగితే దేశభక్త అని అడిగారు. బార్డర్లో ఆర్మీ ఎలా ఫైట్ చేయాలి, ఇండియా క్రికెట్ మ్యాచ్ ఎలా గెలవాలి, ఇవన్నీ అందరికీ ఉంటాయి, అందరికీ దేశభక్తి ఉంటుంది. మై సన్ వాజ్ బియాండ్ దట్. He thought soldiers are the ones who protect these people who have deshbhakti. That's all మించింది అది. So that became the entire drive for the teaser's dialogues. This word-to-word conversation became the teaser. And అందులో వచ్చిన question, what does it mean to be a soldier అన్నది, that answer became Jaan Dunga Deshni. The idea that you can take everything from me, you can take my last breath, you can take my energy, you can take everything from me, but no matter what, the country stays, the country is safe, the fabric of the country remains. That he Major Sandeep lived his life in that philosophy from when he was a child. He wanted to be in the Navy ఒరిజినల్గా. దే రిజెక్టెడ్ హిమ్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ హిస్ ఐసైట్, కళ్ళద్దాలు ఉన్నాయి. సో ఇమీడియట్లీ హీ అప్లై టు ది ఆర్మీ. ఇదంతా కూడా అంకుల్ అండ్ ఆంటీకి తెలియకుండా అనమాట. సో దిస్ మ్యాన్ అండ్ హీ జోక్ విత్ మా నా తొందరగా పెళ్లి చేసే మళ్ళీ ఎప్పుడు ఉంటాను తెలియదు. That's the kind of jokes he would crack. And we have this lovely purse thing in the film that came from auntie's real experience, except it was with her cold cream box.
Yeah.
Cold cream box మనకు అర్థం కాకపోతే జ్యువెలరీ పర్స్పెక్టివ్.
It changed it to jewelry.
But cold cream box ప్రతిసారి whenever Major Sandeep would be visiting, it would go missing. And ఆంటీకి అర్థమేది కాదు. And ఆయన after he was gone, ఆయన బిలాంగింగ్స్ అన్ని ఆర్మీ వాళ్ళు ఇంటికి తెచ్చారు. అండ్ షీ ఫౌండ్ లైక్ 10 boxes. Ultimately this film is about how he lived.
Exactly, yeah.
I think it's what's most amazing to me is that ordinary people, when they're put in extraordinary situations, how they react, makes them immortal or not. So I think like Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan was like anybody else, but oka crisis vachinappudu aa crisis lo the capacity, the human capacity to be selfless, that's extraordinary. Adi it's not an instinct that's very natural to most. Adi naaku chaala, I find it amazing, and that's why he must be celebrated so much.
The way people just started coming together on this film. అంటే sir, I'll openly say it, మీరు నమ్రత గారు, you trusted us before we told your script. ఎందుకంటే మా కళలో ప్యాషన్ కానివ్వండి, మాటల్లో ఫీలింగ్ కానివ్వండి, నమ్మారు. అనురాగ్ శరత్ trusted me before I finished my sentence. And then Sony came on board and announced the project before they'd heard a script, which they've never done. They've never done that before. All of this because it's just some faith in how we are thinking about this.
When you believe in something, the universe conspires to make it happen. That's always the thing which I
Yeah.
believe.
For me, the biggest lock was parents ni ela, the idea that you need somebody Hindi lo baga telsi manishi, Telugu lo baga telsi manishi, and somebody can carry that weight. And then Revati garu, when she started acting on set, that expression that connected me, you mentioning it to me cinema chusin tarvata.
Yeah, there's that one expression of hers. Oh,
In the climax speech.
it was phenomenal. I mean, that's what I keep mentioning it to him because I mean, I have to think.
నాకు మానిటరీ చేసి వచ్చింది ఆ షాట్ కి.
I
తర్వాత
think Sage mentioned it to you. He must have, because that expression of hers was. I can't explain it. It just.
And it's very difficult
Where you,
emotion.
when you see that expression, you forget yourself. Where your consciousness just comes out and just it connects with that expression. So very few actors can do that, and I think very few emotions can do that. So those are the things which happen when I see it. It's very rarely it's happened to me, and so those are moments. Those are great moments to be there in a film.
సార్కి ఫోన్ చేసిన ఎన్నో టెన్షన్ కాన్వర్జేషన్లో ఒక మూమెంట్లో, దిస్ ఇస్ ఆఫ్టర్ ద సెకండ్ లాక్డౌన్ సార్, ఒక మూమెంట్లో ఫోన్ చేసి, సార్ ఇది సోనీ వాళ్ళు ఓటీటీ అనుకోవచ్చేమో నాకు భయంగా ఉంది. సోనీ వాళ్ళు అనలే పాపం, ఓటీటీ అనుకోవచ్చేమో నాకు భయంగా ఉంది అంటే, నో క్వశ్చన్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్, దిస్ ఇస్ అ థియేట్రికల్ ఫిల్మ్ అని సార్ నాతో అన్నారు. గుర్తుంది లేదు. అది అనగానే యూ గెట్ దట్ స్ట్రెంగ్త్ బికాస్ యూ లైక్, ఓకే, this has been a big screen experience designed for the big screen. So what, late ga vachina bullet digali kada. So
Three dialogue చేసేసాడు.
సరే మార్కెటింగ్ కదా. So it was just this idea that we are going for the big screen, and the funny thing is, in one moment when we'd announced Major for July 2nd after the second lockdown, or before the second lockdown, Sher Shah got announced for July 2nd. So we're like, what's going on? And then
అదే అప్పుడు నీకు తెలియదు ఏంటంటే ఇంకొక వేవ్ కూడా వచ్చింది. అప్పుడు నేను వీళ్ళందరూ ఫోన్ చేశాను, అసలు సేజ్ ని రిలీజ్ డేట్ లో అనౌన్స్ చేద్దాం చెప్పినమ్మా. రిలీజ్ డేట్లు చెప్తుంటే కోవిడ్ లెవెల్ వస్తున్నాయి.
చాలా సేఫ్ గా మీ సినిమా ఎంత పెట్టుకున్నాం.
సో అండ్ వాళ్ళు చివరికి ఆ కోవిడ్ వల్లనే వాళ్ళు ఓటీటీ అని అనేస్తారు. బట్ ఎక్కడో Captain Batra story and కానీ whether it's Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan, ఇలాంటి స్టోరీస్ దే ఆర్ మెంట్ ఫర్ ద బిగ్ స్క్రీన్. వి బిలీవ్ ఇన్ ద బిగ్ స్క్రీన్. అండ్ నేను శశితో ఉన్నా ఒకసారి చిన్నప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ టైం శ్రీ వెంకటేశ్వర థియేటర్లో భాషా సినిమా చూసాను సార్. భాషా సినిమా చూసినప్పుడు రజనీకాంత్ అండ్ సన్ గ్లాసెస్ ఇలా తీస్తారు. తీసి I was like, oh, I was a kid, I was just like, oh, I totally want to be this guy. So there was this sense that whatever inspired us all to just make cinema in general, it doesn't make sense without the big screen. So that's why that iron will to hold on to it for theaters, and then to get Mahesh's support saying no matter what, we're going for theaters. And then Sony actually saying we're a theatrical company. ఈ మూడోల కలిసి రావడం సార్ అన్నట్టు ప్రకృతి కలిసి వచ్చింది.
అంటే ఎప్పుడు షార్ట్ శేష్ కథ చెప్పినప్పుడు ఎప్పుడు షార్ట్ చూసినా అది ఒక 70 mm మీద కనిపించేది, కానీ నాకు చిన్న తెర మీద ఎప్పుడు ఐ కెన్ నెవర్ ఇమాజిన్ దట్ అది ఎప్పుడు పెద్దగా కనిపించాలి అండ్ గ్రాండియర్ ఉండాలి అనేది చూసాం.
It's common sense. When you're making films for the TV, there's a way of making for it.
Correct.
When you're making for the big screen, they've made it for the big screen, so you can't release it on OTT. So it's not meant to be on OTT. There's just common sense there.
నైజాం గురించి ఒక ప్రామిస్ చెప్పారు నాకు, అది నేను రేజ్ అయిపోయా అక్కడి నుంచి అసలు మాట తీరు, ఆలోచన తీరు అవన్నీ మారిపోయాయి అనమాట నాకు నైజాం గురించి. సో దట్ ఆల్సో హ్యాపెండ్ ఇన్ అ వెరీ వెరీ నైస్ వే.
And I think Sai and Shobita, I think both of your characters were very, very intense. More than the screen time, I think మీరు సినిమాలోని హాస్టేజ్ ఎమోషన్ మొత్తం తీసుకుని మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేసుకుని మీకున్న టైంలో మీరు చెప్పడం కానీ, for you to be such probably the youngest person of our team, but playing Major Sandeep's wife, displaying those very subtle emotions which you did, in the couple of scenes. How did you get into the character, both of you? Like, what did it take for you to do what you did?
When I was playing a 16-year-old, it didn't take anything. I was just myself. I may not sound like it now, but I feel like for the older portions, I remember me being me on set and Sage being like, zone. And I was like, what's the zone he's talking about? Let's try and see what it is. And then I think, because he kept saying, let's go into the zone, and I was like, let me see what zone is. Figure out what zone is.
ఏంటి జోన్ ఏంటి చెప్పచ్చు కదా జోన్
ఆ అమ్మాయి ఇన్స్టా ఫోటో అంటుండే సార్.
In my quest to find this zone that he was talking about, it just like happened.
How did you dub in Telugu? How was that?
జోన్
No, actually, zone kidding. There was a mention of the zone even while there was, no?
Zone.
Yeah, but the dubbing in Telugu was actually that's what was done this to me. No, I'm kidding, but it was really fun. It was taxing. I didn't know what I was saying, but I was saying it. And then eventually I figured out what I was saying. By the end of the dubbing, I knew exactly what I was saying. Now if you wake me up in the middle of the night and ask me to say my dialogues from Major, I'll say them like I know them forever. So I think, no. But
so that's the zone.
I think that's one thing. It's really a point of pride, and I have to thank Shashi on this. It's a real point of pride that every actor in this film, Prakash Raj sir, Revati ma'am, myself, Shobita, Sai, Murli Sharma garu, Anish, every actor, character, lead, they dubbed for themselves in Telugu, they dubbed for themselves in Hindi, no matter how long it took. Prakash Raj garu dubbed for 12 days for this film.
Really? Prakash Raj for 12 days? Yeah. I need to call the guy now. 12 days?
So
He was really in the zone.
he was in the zone.
He was in the zone.
So I think that comes again from that spirit we're speaking. And Sai, she probably dubbed for this film for as long as she shot for this film.
yeah.
So how did you get into the character? How was the journey for you as an actor? Purely?
I feel like certain things like comedy, horror, a character like this, they will land only when there is spontaneity. And I mean, if I were to play it like I choreographed it beforehand, ante nee ila chesta, ee body language untundani, then I think it becomes very contained, very clear. కానీ భయం వేసినప్పుడు నా ఒకసారి ఎలా రియాక్ట్ అవుతానో నాకే తెలియదు. I may scream, I may withdraw. So I think I had to leave that space to find it, our instincts. And I mean, వీటికి reference point ఉండదు. I could only imagine, and because it's a real person, ఎవరి మీద అయితే ఈ క్యారెక్టర్ బేస్ అయిందో, I had to be sensitive and responsible such that there is no streak of pretense. నా తరపు నుంచి that was the thing that I knew, that I don't want to wing it, you know.
Zone లో బేసిక్
అన్నట్టుగా కాదు. Yeah, no, it means a lot to me to give my all while I do what I do. I've lived my life like that, so it's my only pursuit.
కానీ నువ్వంటే ఒక జెలసీ ఉండాలబ్బా. ఏంటో చెప్తాను. ఆ అమ్మాయి కష్టపడి 4 టేకులు తీసుకుంటేది, నేను కష్టపడి 6 టేకులు తీసుకుంటాను. ఇది అన్ని 1 టేక్ 2 టేక్స్. హిందీ అనేది జమ్మని హిందీ అమ్మాయిలో మాట్లాడేది, తెలియని జమ్మని తెలుగు. మనకేంటంటే హిందీ కొంచెం 2 టేకులు పడేది, తెలుగు 1 టేకులు అయిపోయింది. తనకు మాత్రం అన్ని 1 టేకులే.
కానీ I have to say this on camera, తెలుగు ఏడుపు హిందీ ఏడుపు వేరుగా ఉంది.
శేష్ తెలుగులో వేయడం అనేవాడికి హిందీ అంటే ఏం లేదు సార్. ఇప్పుడు ఒక
తెలుగులో బ్రైట్ గా కొంచెం
we actually had her scale up sensibilities for
రాజస్థాన్కి పరాకాష్ట
అంటే సార్ ఆ అమ్మాయి
ఇప్పుడు హిందీ వాళ్ళు ఒకలాగా ఏడుస్తారు, తెలుగు వాళ్ళు ఒకలాగా ఏడుస్తారా? నేను
కాదు, తెలుగు ఆయాసం వేరు, హిందీ ఆయాసం వేరు. ఎలా చేసి చూపించు, ఒకేలా చేసేవాడు రెండు మళ్ళీ నాకు చూపిస్తున్నప్పుడు.
ఐ రిమెంబర్ దిస్ వన్ డే ఆన్ సెట్, నేను వెళ్ళేసరికి చాలా ఫ్రస్ట్రేషన్ లో ఉంది. ఏమైంది అంటే హిందీ ఏంది తెలుగు అవ్వట్లేదు, ఎందుకు అంటే అలానే చేస్తున్నా వద్దంటున్నాడు. ఎందుకంటే తెలుగులో బ్రైట్ గా వేయడం అంటుంది, బ్రైట్ గా వేయడం చాలా ఫ్రస్ట్రేషన్ సార్. ఇట్లా
కానీ బాగా కొట్టుకున్నాం, అండ్ దట్స్ నైస్ బికాజ్ వి ఆర్ ఫైటింగ్ with each other for the film.
And I remember this one scene, Ramoji Film City lo we were shooting, sir. Prakash Raj gaరి climax speech. Oka roju ayana madhyalo veltaru. I think
so ఏమైంది
9 to 6 call sheet ఇచ్చారు.
హ్యూజ్ సెట్ సార్. గేట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా సెట్ కట్టాం, గేట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా సెట్ కట్టాం, అటు తాజ్ మొత్తం కట్టాం, ఫసాడ్ ఫ్రంట్ ఫసాడ్. ఒక 1000 మంది జూనియర్లు, అంటే ప్రాబ్లీ ద బిగ్గెస్ట్ థింగ్ ఐ హావ్ ఎవర్ డన్. సో ఈ ఇదిలో ఆయన వచ్చారు, ఆయన ఒక స్పీచ్ చెప్పాలి, మేము అందరం వినాలి. దట్స్ ద ఐడియా. ఆయన వచ్చారు, జోన్లో ఉన్నారు, ఫీలింగ్లో ఉన్నారు, చెప్తున్న రెండో సెంటెన్స్కి నాకు రావట్లేదు సార్, ఇట్స్ నాట్ కమింగ్, నేను వాళ్ళు చేయడం కరెక్ట్ కాదు, ఏమనుకో ఇంకో రోజు వచ్చేస్తాను. అండ్ ఇన్ దాట్ మూమెంట్ బికమ్స్ సో ఈజీ ఫర్ us to get frustrated saying, అరే యార్ ఏంటి. బట్ ఐ కుడ్ క్లియర్లీ సీన్ హిస్ ఐస్, ఇట్ కేమ్ ఫ్రమ్ అ ప్లేస్ ఆఫ్ దీనికి నేను జస్టిస్ చేయాలి. And he genuinely came back and sixer on my speech. A speech me choosing that. So
I think one thing that I observed personally is team lo andaru, a lot of people are not in front of the camera, and everyone worked with extreme honesty, sir. That was the only driving force. ఎవర్నో అపీల్ చేయాలి, ఎవర్నో పుష్ చేయాలి, డైరెక్టర్ తో మస్కా కొట్టాలి, రకరకాల రీజన్స్ తో చాలా మంది రకరకాలుగా వర్క్ చేస్తారు ప్రతి ఇండస్ట్రీలో. బట్ ఐ థింక్ ఇన్ దిస్ ఫిల్మ్ ఎవ్రీవన్ వర్క్ ఓన్లీ ఫర్ ద ఫిల్మ్. సినిమాకి ఏది కరెక్ట్ అది చేయాలి. దేర్ వాజ్ నో హైరార్కీ ఇన్ ద ఎంటైర్ స్ట్రక్చర్. ఫ్రమ్ సెట్ బాయ్ నుంచి, ఏడీ నుంచి, డైరెక్టర్ వరకు ఎవ్రీవన్ వాజ్ ద సేమ్. అండ్ ఈవెన్ ది యాక్టర్స్, దే ట్రీటెడ్ ఎవ్రీవన్ ద సేమ్. అంటే ఐ ఫీల్ సమ్వేర్ సినిమా చూస్తుంటే ఎందుకు ఒక మ్యాజిక్ అనిపిస్తుంది అంటే ఈ ఆనెస్టీ, ఆథెంటిసిటీ అక్కడ రిఫ్లెక్ట్ అవుతున్నట్టు అనిపించింది సార్.
I just want to add a small thing. I think the simple fact that we were all fans of Sandeep Unnikrishnan, his life, his journey. I think there was a certain sanctity, and we felt like our inconveniences or our personal differences even, they had to be settled in honor of his journey. So adoka holiness to chesinde. So there's a certain emotional attachment that everybody felt. So I think we were bound by that love and respect for him.
Yeah.
And for their parents, I think we must talk about their parents and how they've influenced your film creatively and, you know, as a person.
I think I'm unable to call auntie anymore. I call her amma now whenever I call her. నేను మన ట్రైలర్ లాంచ్ లో కూడా అన్నాను, దిస్ ఫీలింగ్ దట్ ఆబ్వియస్లీ ఆఫ్ స్క్రీన్ మేజర్ సందీప్ పెడితే నేను అవ్వలేదు. ఆఫ్ స్క్రీన్ ఐ కాన్ అండ్ ఒకగానొక్క కొడుకు వాడు, బట్ ఆఫ్ స్క్రీన్ రెండో కొడుకు ఉన్నాడు అన్న నమ్మకం కలిగించాలని ఆల్వేస్ ట్రై. నేను అప్పుడప్పుడు మనకు కొన్ని డొమెస్టిక్ కాల్స్ ఉంటాయి ఇంట్లో, గేట్ కొంచెం సరిగ్గా సౌండ్ ఇస్తుంది, ఏం చేయాలి అర్థం కావట్లేదు, టైర్ పంక్చర్ అయింది, ఇప్పుడే ఎవరో స్కూటర్ వచ్చి కార్ని కొట్టాడు. ఈ డిస్కషన్స్ వాళ్ళు నాతో పెట్టుకునేసరికి నేను అది ఫిల్మ్ బియాండ్ వెళ్ళిపోయింది అనమాట. అండ్ ఐ థింక్ దట్స్ వేర్ ఐఎమ్ యాట్. సో నేను తప్పులు చేసినా కూడా వాళ్ళు క్షమిస్తున్నాను. తప్పులు చేసినప్పుడు అని ఒక సన్ని ట్రీట్ చేస్తున్నాడు, ఓపెన్ గా పడట్లేదు మళ్ళీ. ఇట్స్ వెరీ రిజర్వ్డ్. నమ్ముతా మ్యామ్ జనరల్ గా ఈ జర్నీలో ఏం చెప్పారు సార్ అంటే మేము చేస్తున్నప్పుడు ఎలా చెప్పారు? ఐఎమ్ జస్ట్ క్యూరియస్ హౌ యువర్ డిస్కషన్స్ మైట్ హావ్ బీన్ యాక్చువల్లీ.
No, she's like they know more than.
I mean, we know what we spoke to her, but we don't know what she told you.
No, my discussions with her are very straight. I'm like, is everything going on right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, good. Because with my space with her is very different. We don't discuss work. We keep it as minimalistic as possible because, and that's how we've always been. So it's always very short. She was very, very happy with the way the film was shaping up. I think she was seeing the rushes also more than me. I have not seen any of the rushes at all actually. And so she would come home and say, Revati and Prakash, that scene I saw, it was amazing. So she saw the climax and she said it was amazing. So, and I trust her judgment also. She's a very harsh critic. She can be. I'm telling you, man.
I think even your film, she's a very, very harsh critic.
Huh?
Me cinema kuda she's a very harsh critic.
Yeah, so I don't let her watch. She can only watch it after the release. So anyway, but so I trust her judgment also. So and so she was very happy the way things were going.
సో మాకు ఒక టెన్షన్ మూమెంట్ జరిగింది చెప్తాను సార్. May 9th ట్రైలర్ లాంచ్, May 8th ఈవినింగ్ ఇంటికి వచ్చి మీకు సినిమా చూపిస్తున్నాం. ఇంకా మిక్సింగ్ జరుగుతున్న టైంలో మిక్స్ చూపించాం కాబట్టి సౌండ్ సగం వినిపించక ఉంది. అదో టెన్షన్. ఆ టెన్షన్ తో పాటు ఏంటంటే సినిమా అయిపోగానే మీరు వెళ్ళిపోయారు. అండ్ మీ అండ్ శరత్ ఆర్ లైక్, వెయిట్ వాట్ జస్ట్ హ్యాపెండ్, యునో big man trusted us for a couple of years, like what's going on? We thought we have a great film on our hand and he's not said anything, just left.
వెళ్ళడం కూడా ఒక సప్పని చేసి సప్పని డోర్ తీసి వెళ్ళిపోయేసరికి మేము ఇంకా కూర్చునే ఉన్నాం. లైక్ వి డిడ్ంట్ ఈవెన్ సెటిల్ ఆఫ్టర్ ద ఫిల్మ్. యు టేక్ ఎ మినిట్ టు గెట్ అప్ ఫ్రమ్ యువర్ సీట్. మాది ఆ ఫేజ్ అవ్వలే, మీరు ఇలా వెళ్ళిపోయారు. Namrata garu was still there. We all looked at each other.
And she's happy with the film. She's just got tears in her eyes from the climax. She's looking, it's a great film, it's a great film. Mamma ఓదారిస్తున్నారు ఇవిడ, ఏంటి పరిస్థితి? ఏంటి పరిస్థితి? నా దగ్గర ఓదారిస్తున్నారా? అమ్మో ఓదారిపోతుందా ఏంటి పరిస్థితి అని. శరత్ ఏమో నన్ను చూసి, డోంట్ వరీ, మీకు ఆప్టిమిస్టిక్. మామ ఏం
ఆల్సో బికాస్ మీకు మేము ఎప్పుడు రషెస్ చూపించుకోవడానికి ఒక స్ట్రాటజిక్ రీజన్ ఉంది సార్. వి వాంటెడ్ యూ టు వాచ్. మధ్యలో కూడా డిస్కషన్స్ అయ్యాయి వితౌట్ మిక్సింగ్ చూపిద్దాం అది ఇది అని, కానీ వీ వాంటెడ్ యూ టు వాచ్ ద ఫైనల్ ఫిల్మ్ అండ్ గివ్ అస్ యువర్ జడ్జ్మెంట్ బికాస్ వీ న్యూ దట్ విల్ హెల్ప్ ద ఫిల్మ్. సమ్వేర్ మేము ఒక 2 years నుంచి యాంటిసిపేట్ చేసిన మూమెంట్ మీరు చూసే మూమెంట్, దానికి మీరు ఇచ్చిన రియాక్షన్ అసలు
మాకు టెన్షన్ పట్టేసింది. అండ్ దెన్ మేము మెల్లగా బయట లౌంజ్ లోకి వచ్చాము. అక్కడ కూర్చొని మీరు ఇలా చూసారు, యువర్ ఐస్ వర్ లిటిల్ రెడ్. నా సినిమా వల్ల అనుకుంటున్నాను, డస్ట్ అండ్ దెన్ అప్పుడు మీరు చెప్పాల్సిన మాటలు చెప్పారు. అండ్ that was just like winning an award, you know. Sense of confidence for me comes only from 2 sets of people. One is Major Sandeep's parents and the other was you. Genuine. You know, ఆ తర్వాత మీరు చెప్పింది అసలు that night it was so bloody amazing. అమ్మానంతా కూర్చొని ఇలా చెప్తుండే, ఇలా సార్ అన్నారు, ఇలా అన్నారు. It all comes from that నమ్మకం, you know.
Which is something I want to ask you, sir. మీరు ఒక సినిమా చూసినప్పుడు ఎలా చూస్తారు? I mean, do you judge a film or you just audience like?
I just watch it like an audience.
Your tweets are bang on.
I watch it like an audience. I don't watch it like an actor or a director or anything. I just watch it like an audience because I'm a film lover, and so everything just disappears and I just watch it like an audience. And if I love it, then I tweet what I feel. That's it.
Sashi, I think one of the things that we are hearing about the trailer is the grandeur. ఎందుకంటే lots of VFX. నేను మన ట్రైలర్లో ఎన్ని VFX షార్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయో లెక్క పెడితే I was amazed because చాలా మంది ఫైండ్ అవుట్ కూడా చేయట్లేదు. మన ట్రైలర్లో దగ్గర ఎన్ని షార్ట్స్ ఉంటాయి VFX?
అంటే 100 పైన ఉంటాయి.
on the పైన బట్ చెప్పలేము అవి. సో హౌ డిడ్ యూ అచీవ్ ద గ్రాండియర్, ద స్కేల్? ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఈజీ.
విఎఫ్ఎక్స్ బాగుందంటే యాక్చువల్లీ బాగాలేదని అర్థం. సో కనిపెట్టకపోవటం బాగుందని అర్థం యాక్చువల్లీ. సో గ్రాండియర్ కి వీ హ్యాడ్ 7 sets వేసాం తాజ్ కి. అండ్ దెన్ వీ హెవ్ షాట్ ఇన్ ఎవ్రీ 5-star hotel ఇంక్లూడింగ్ దిస్ వన్. సో ఈ 5-star hotels లేఅవుట్ మొత్తం మనకి
షరతులని చెప్తాం.
సో ప్రతి 5-star hotel
ఎపిసోడ్స్ ఉన్నాయి షర్ట్
నేను ఓన్లీ హోటల్ ఉన్నాయా.
సో ప్రతి హోటల్ ని ఇన్ అండ్ అవుట్ రెకీ చేసి తాజ్ లో కనిపించే బ్లాక్స్ సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకుని వాటికి వెళ్ళి వాటిని షూట్ చేసి తర్వాత ఇంకా కంప్లీట్ గా తాజ్ లో కనిపించాలి. అండ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఎ చాయిస్ టు మేక్ యాక్షన్ అక్కడ తీసుకోవాలి. 5 sets కి వెళ్ళి ఆ సెట్ కంటిన్యూటీ మళ్ళీ యాక్షన్ కంటిన్యూటీ తగ్గట్టు సెట్స్ వేసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళాం. సో I think that's why you have the grandeur of the film that popped out. Yeah.
ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే మనం ఏ సెట్ కట్టినా అల్టిమేట్ గా సెట్ ఏం చేయాలి, బ్లాస్ట్
Blast చేసేయాలి. Action.
So it's not even like, oh, we built this great, let's take a look. And it's because the moment you shoot there, the next day we're like, okay, so అక్కడ బాంబ్ పెట్టాలి కదా, అక్కడ బాంబ్
సో
పెట్టాలి.
ఈ పక్కన చేసుకుందాం, అది బ్లాస్ట్ చేద్దాం అనుకుంటూ జాగ్రత్తగా.
The first 30 to 40 minutes were crucial for us. ఎందుకంటే our goal was to present Major Sandeep as the boy next door. So ఈయనకి అమ్మా నాన్న, చైల్డ్హుడ్ క్రష్, ఫ్రెండ్స్, షాపింగ్ సెంటర్లో ఐస్ క్రీములు తింటారు. We wanted to present this very innocent, simple thing, maybe even have people question, wait, I just came to see the film of a great man. Why are you showing me such small, simple,
Yeah.
tight things? There's nothing expansive, there's nothing brilliant about this. What is it? Our goal was to say, even something, a small scene like him having kheer with his mom, our goal was that ties into something much deeper and much larger in the second half. So the 7 or 8 scenes that we have in the first 35 minutes, each of those connects to Major Sandeep's decisions as we approach the interval towards the second half. It's almost like oka side na 30 years of a life and oka side na 36 hours of an attack. They just collide, you know. Why did Namrata garu think that we should do it in Hindi? Our discussion about what was there?
We never discussed it actually. It was always, I was under the impression that you all were doing it
We'll close it with some rapid fire.
rapid fire.
Quick fire. So I think we'll start from you. Describe everyone on this table in one word.
Describe everyone on the
Hey.
like individually or like,
Individually.
you're so pretty.
Thanks.
You're really funny sometimes.
Sometimes.
Uh-oh.
You're serious
Okay.
and sweet.
2 words. 2 words.
Really cool. I want your skin secret. I've been told you eat fish. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm now vegetarian.
Oh, someone be vegetarian.
Vegetarian,
Thank you.
Oh, how lovely.
She's the sweetest person in life. I know those weren't 1 words, but I couldn't do it. Sorry, I lose.
Have you marks for it?
Okay, do I get marks? Or do I get marks now?
I want to ask you, like, is there a dream role you may do, you may not do? Just
Now,
to
to say a dream
fantasize.
role, it's been my dream to work with Rajmouli sir. It's been a long-awaited dream, and so it's coming true finally.
That's amazing.
So I'm really excited with that.
That's cool. Congratulations.
And so my question to all of you guys, it's not a question. I mean, it's an amazing team. First of all, really proud of all of you guys. How are you guys feeling about it?
Let's start. I think,
Yeah. Sharad, this is your debut as a producer. How are you
I
feeling?
think that's one. I think it's a wonderful dream debut for us, for me as producers, me and Anurag. But I'm very worried because I don't know if after this film, ఇలాంటి సినిమా ఎప్పుడు వస్తుందో నాకు తెలియదు. లైక్ నేను ఇంకో సినిమా కూడా మేము ఏం సైన్ చేయలేము, నాకు తెలియదు మళ్ళీ ఇలాంటి క్వాలిటీ ఆఫ్ ఫిల్మ్ చేయగలమా అని అంటారు. బట్ హౌ ఆర్ వి ఫీలింగ్ ఎట్ దిస్ పాయింట్ అంటే ఐ థింక్ చాలా it's immense responsibility. How does it feel?
People see what a great life this man lived. Obviously, when you're capturing 31 years of a life in 2 hours, you have limitations. You're taking 5 scenes that happened in 5 different instances in his life and making it into one scene. You're creating scenes because you're trying to find the spirit of him and trying to tell it in a 2-hour narrative. When you set all that aside, it is probably the toughest and the most rewarding journey I've ever had in film. People have constantly underestimated this story when we first said it, and then the moment we said it, and the conviction with which we said it, and the man himself, and when we talked about the conviction he had, I could see people's expressions, their feelings, and their thoughts just change, just shift. Oftentimes, I feel that Telugu cinema, we're in such a rush to get a film ready by release date. You just have no option to scrutinize the film. You have no opportunity to just look at it, just breathe for a second and say, is this good? Are we happy with this? You don't have the time. And in Hindi cinema, there's just, now this is something I've been told because I've not lived in Mumbai. I've been told that there's so much brickbats and so many people trying to drag something that nobody wants to show their film before it is. They just want it to come out on the day of. We've been so very transparent. We've shown it to 1,700 people across the country in Bombay, Delhi, Hyderabad, Vizag, and secret
Now that's
screenings.
another thing which I have to give it to you guys, because when Sharad told me that what's going to be the publicity campaign, so he said we're going to screen the film. I think that was very innovative. That was very brave, because I think that shows the faith of the team. I mean, that's an amazing decision, you know, screening your film as a campaign itself. So I thought that was an amazing thing when I heard what was happening.
Hey, this man cracked out. And also, I think it's a very American thing, right? You take these indie gems and you start screening them everywhere, let it build that buzz.
Yeah.
So, you know, we were recently at the song launch for Oisha, and Hindi journalists said, you're coming up against these sort of this big Akshay Kumar sir's film, Prithviraj. You know, what do you feel about it? And you know, and I've grown up on the man's films. I danced on Tu Cheez Badiya Mast Mast in school. But when we were asked, I simply said, that's the big fish. You know, that's the big fish. That's the big one. That's the big gun. But we're the goldfish. You know, we shine and we have this beautiful bright light in our own way. And that intention comes entirely because of that spirit that Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan has. It doesn't come from a place of overconfidence. It doesn't come from a place of arrogance. It just comes from this sort of silent fire that this man had, with this smiling face. He'd look at you with his eyes. If anybody's taken the time out to see that passport photograph, you look into his eyes, you'll see it. And I think that is why that passport photograph is so famous. So many other heroes passed away on that day and so many other days. That photograph connects so much. So many people don't know the name of the man, but they know the eyes. It's because of how he looks at you.
I want to ask a question. If you were a color, what would you be? You have to reply in 5 seconds, everyone.
Blue.
Blue. You? Fast. Black. It's not a color, it's a lack of color. Pink.
Yeah.
Ouch.
That's seriously, that's an amazing. Yeah, there's a lack of color. Why black, dude?
Oh, black and white.
He's a void that sucks you into the zone. Especially you.
Purple. Purple. Interesting. Like the Joker.
If you say purple, someone's gonna die. That screenwriting thing. Okay, never mind. You?
I wanted to say black, but now I can't.
No pressure, bro.
I
Like
think I love black.
It's
I think
mystery.
the absence of
that represents you.
represents.
You don't like color then.
Yeah.
She said, what color do you all like?
No, not what you like, sir.
What are you?
What you think you are. What
Oh.
represents you.
Yeah, but that's comes in
Blue
color.
has so many shades of blue. I've seen.
I think I'm a rainbow.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు మీరు మేజర్ ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేశారు. వాట్ ఆర్ యువర్ ప్లాన్స్ విత్ జిఎంబి సార్ ఆఫ్టర్ మేజర్?
I'm very associated only with my films, to be very honest. If I get excited in the future with films like Major, maybe. But it won't be a regular practice.
Right.
So with my films, yes.
Yeah.
So I think these guys,
That's something special, huh? That's something really special to know that.
It feels good, no?
Yeah.
సో ఒక స్టాండర్డ్ సెట్ చేసాము. అసలు మీరు ఆ స్టాండర్డ్ కి ఈ మేజర్ స్టాండర్డ్ రీచ్ అయినప్పుడు will produce.
Or he's
Not
like
really. I need
so
to be
committed.
excited with the film. If I'm excited, yes. Otherwise, it's not like I'm going to just be, come on guys, let's make films outside also. I need to be excited now because otherwise I'm happy making films with myself.
Right.
Let me say
Which
it.
excites me.
I don't know if I'll get this platform together again. I don't have anything to question, but rather a genuine gratitude of thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for crying in Telugu and in Hindi. Thank you for spending countless hours trying to find the character in Telugu.
Thank you
and
for being in the zone.
And Shashi, thank you for making me understand how to contain my passion, how to contain my temper, how to contain my energy for Major Sandeep in a way that is productive. Sharath, thank you for taking every 3 a.m. phone call and answering it with patience. And most of all, sir, thank you for trusting us.
Yeah.
And Namrata garu.
Namaste.
Yeah.
But I think
I wonder where Namrata Garu is.
No, I think that your presence it means a lot to the
Yeah.
film. I feel very lucky as an actor, as somebody who's part of this film. This association, it has gravitas. Yeah.
Thank you.
అంటే నాకు ఎలా అంటే సార్ ఒక్కటి చెప్పగలను. అమితాబ్ బచ్చన్ డైలాగ్ జేబులో మేరే పాస్ మాహే అంటారు, మేము జేబులో పెట్టుకుని హమారే పాస్ మహేష్ బాబు.
మేజర్ సూపర్ ఉందండి, యాక్షన్ సూపర్ చేశారు.
ఇది ప్రతి ఒక్కరు చూడాల్సిన సినిమా.
చాలా బాగుంది. సెకండ్ హాఫ్ అయితే అద్దరిపోతుంది.
ది బెస్ట్ మూవీ తీశారు రీసెంట్ టైమ్స్లో. మళ్ళీ చూడాలనిపించిన మూవీ అండి ఇది.
చాలా బాగుంది సినిమా, చాలా బాగుంది.
ప్రతి ఇండియన్స్ గర్వపడే విధంగా తీశారు.